everybody.
Welcome to Happy Life Results Book Group. Happy to see you. Okay, so today we're in guide concept number 2, flying, on the section that starts it's number 2, even before the hero masters the full level of up. That's where we're at. All right, so we're going to talk more about curious play today. And we're going to talk about kids more and how kids use curious play and how we can access more of that energy. So it'll be a little bit of a reminder of what we just talked about, but we have some other things we want to say about it.
So one of the examples, when you think about kids, they've just been dropped into this new environment and they have a lot to learn. They don't know the language, they don't know anything, they don't even know how to use their hands to get food to their mouth. They have a lot to learn. So you would think, you know, in the advancement of the species, that if the program for learning quickly is to get really serious and to approach it like it matters, and you have to force yourself, and it has to be not fun, it has to be hard work, that's what they would go into in order to learn all of this stuff. But that's not what you see.
No.
What you see with kids is it looks like they're just having fun. They're just playing. They're just chewing on stuff, and they're just, you know, it's all play, and somehow they learn the language while they're playing.
Yeah, and how to use their body, how to fine-tune their motor skills.
So what's interesting is that when we're pushing with pain points, we're creating more of a fight, flight, or freeze reflex to it. So it feels like that's what's going to get us to work harder, but it's also setting us up for giving up sooner if we don't see progress.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're playing, that instinct doesn't have to kick in, because there is no "or I'm going to die" reflex.
Yes.
It's just, hey, there's no danger here, I can explore, I can learn, I can enjoy myself. There is no, because even a lack of food creates that same fight, flight, or freeze reflex. So if you're saying, oh, we only have a limited amount of energy here, so conserve it, and you see what happens, then people just completely sit still, they don't think about anything, they just kind of veg. That's what happens when you run out of food. When there's plenty of food, when it's spring, what do? You get out, you run, you climb, you chase after things. So we want, this idea is to create that feeling of spring in you all the time.
Yeah, access to all the energy that you need, and access to the, it's like the survival instincts will free it up if it feels like there's an abundance of it. If there's no worry that we're not going to have enough food, if we're not going to have enough energy, then we don't restrict it if there's an abundance, right? So we want that abundance, we want access, no blocks, and the blocks come when we use that fight, flight, or freeze, or when we use that pain point pressure, because then it's saying scarcity, it's saying there's scarcity, and so we don't have enough. So we need to be really careful about how we use our energy. And it better be good. It better be worth it, right?
Right. And so Stacy's not talking about turning things into games.
Oh yeah.
At all. This is not about turning it into a game. She's talking about approaching it with a mode of abundance, an internal mode of abundance, as though you were playing a game.
Yes, but at the beginning, they may need to use a game as a
if
boost.
You have to, if that works, whatever keeps you in that mode as much as possible.
Yeah, and even to understand what we're talking about, there might be a transition period where you actually do approach it differently. You change the environment a little bit, and then you can observe the internal change. So there will be a little bit of that, but ultimately, it's not that you need to change your environment in any way to access this kind of energy. You can just access it by the way that you're processing your brain, the way your brain is processing, just the way you're thinking.
But that's something Stacy has learned, that's a skill she has developed. She didn't start that way.
Yeah.
And that's what's a hopeful thing for us, is that this is a game you can win. This is a skill you can develop. This is something she didn't have before and she does now.
Yeah, and I've seen the progress, like story after story. I can tell you right now, like all of the ways that I used to be about energy expenditure, you know, like limiting my energy because I felt like I mean, I really did have, it was restricted because I was using pain point pressure to access it. And whenever you do that, then it really is restricted. It's not just that it feels restricted, it is. And then once you get better and better at this, and I'm learning every day, like every day there's something I'm working on that I'm seeing that I'm not having this access that I want. And so, and then I play with it, and I figure it out, and I like figure out why I'm applying the pain point pressure and why I'm going to that old model that I know doesn't work. Like I know in theory, but in application I'm still applying it in new areas all the time and expanding the areas that I can apply it to instead of just saying, oh, I can't learn that, that's too hard, which is what I used to do. It's so crazy.
Yeah, she's like a dancer that she started out with a few steps, and now she's at this level where she's doing things she never thought was possible, and she's still looking for ways that she can make it even more refined, even more elaborate, even more useful.
Sometimes the more you learn, the more you see you have to learn.
Yeah.
Not have to, but the more there
The more
is
it's
to learn.
available to learn, yeah.
So then you start looking at the world with so much more possibility. There's so much more possibility for you when you keep going. Yeah. So I think that's good.
That good? Okay. See you tomorrow, guys.
See you guys.